Hey guys, my name is Dan and I'm here with Precision Sport Industries, and I'm here with the E91 GTS Tribute with Paddock and Bilstein, and it was built by us here at PSI.
Let's get this cold start.
I think it's gonna reek of gas after this. No, you can do it.
Oh, silent killer.
Dude, back in the BMW.
That's a stroker kit too. Like that's not your regular M3 motor.
Was it manual or DCT?
It's DCT. There's no way he's match revving that perfect.
Dude, that's what I was asking. I was like, whoa, that was...
I mean, maybe. But
Basically, this is the Paddock Bilstein E91 GTS Tribute build. This is a little bit of a brainchild from some of the team at Turn 14, Paddock, as well as some added details added by us here at the shop just along the way. So I guess I'll start you with the outside. This is an E91, started with a 328 Xi. So it was an all-wheel drive. I believe it was an N52. And then we basically used nothing except for the body itself. So we took the body panels off of a E90 M3 donor car and took the engine out of that and basically sent the engine to carbon, sent the actual body to paint and fabrication. Slowly, we pulled everything together. The interior was done by Ultimate Auto, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. You'll see it's in fire orange. In the direct sunlight, it becomes a little dulled out, but at night, it's really, really vibrant orange. This is based off of the GTS build that was available in Europe, not in the US. And we ultimately wanted to use that as like the muse to the rest of the build.
This is like the precursor to Lime Rock.
Yeah, so Lime Rock is the same color. It's just sort of two different models. BMW loves releasing like rare models, low production, whether that be GTS, there's the individual colors that are rare as well, being like a one of one and stuff like that. So I'll pop the hood, and I guess we'll start in just the front end. Under the hood, you'll see it's a S65, and it's a little bit cooler than just a stock S65. It's a 4.6 liter fully built stroker motor from Carbon. On top, you'll see the even cherry plenum. So we have the carbon, we have the Future Classics covers just to tidy things up a bit. Had a lot of sponsors come in once they sort of heard about the build and how we were planning on doing the whole thing. A lot of people wanted to get involved for those that are enthusiast based. We have the 3D design carbon front lip. The entire front bumper, it's all OEM. So the OEM fenders mount directly onto the 328. So it's OEM front bumper, OEM fenders. We had to add some of the mounting brackets to make it extra OEM. But subframes, rear and front, both come straight out of the M3 donor car, plug right in. Cool thing about those specifically is we repowder coated them to OEM standards, cleaned every nut and bolt on all the subframes to make sure this is basically a brand new car for anyone that gets to own it down the line.
What's it stroked out to?
4.6, so it starts as a 4.0, and it goes to a 4.6. The GTS motor that came in these from BMW is a 4.4, but we just wanted to take it up a little, take it up a notch. We were running the Bilstein Club Sport 2-ways, all around, and then we have SPL arms on every single potential thing that SPL makes. So we have the full lineup, all underneath the car. If I could put it on a lift, you would see it is squeaky clean. It just tidies everything up. We're running a carbon drive shaft from Drive Shaft Shop, Krapovich exhaust, which we had to get from Europe.
Like the drive shaft is actually carbon?
Yeah. Have
you heard of that? Oh, I've never fucking heard of it.
Yeah, so some of the
race car shit.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
a lot of that. Yeah.
You basically build it from the ground up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, we took two cars that we basically stripped and made blank, and then we're able to build it into one. So you'll see that all of the mounting surfaces, all of the wiring is all ran mounted exactly the way it was in BMW. So nothing should be out of place. Cool thing about this as well is we took both chassis harnesses out of the E90 and the E91 and combined both of them. So if this goes to the dealership, you plug it in, it reads as an M3. If you do all the test plans at BMW, it reads as an M3. It is an S65, in and out, can be serviced at BMW exactly the way BMW would service an E90 M3.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is Matt.
Oh, yeah,
That's
so
the part that intrigued me.
Yeah, so this is where Sean, who is the owner of PSI, and some of the Turn 14 team really came together to match the BMW stylings. For BMW of this era, when they're doing individual paint, they would gloss the outside, and then the interior pieces would all be matte. So the engine bay, You'll see all in here. You'll see it inside the rear hatch as well. Under the hood, this is all matte. And you'll notice it once I tell you it now. If you ever open the hood of another individual E90 M3, you'll tell if it's resprayed by if it's cleared, if this is gloss or if it's matte.
Is it only the E90s, or they do that with most of them?
With all the individual colors, yeah. So it just, the individual, they go through a different paint scheme, and so it just is a slightly different thing. The full CSF lineup, we're running the CSF oil cooler, trans cooler, the heat exchanger. We also have a power steering cooler as well. We have PowerFlex bushings all around, except for the diff, because we wanted this to act and sound and drive as a BMW would do it. So we wanted the diff to be not too noisy, because that as a drivability factor, you're just hearing that in the back of your head. So we went with stock diff bushings. The rest are all PowerFlex. Obviously the BBS E88s, they make a great motorsport look to the whole build and bring it together. You'll see behind the E88s are Stop Tech. I believe there's 6 pistons in the front, 4 in the rear, and these 380mm Stop Techs are made to fit 18-inch wheels. A lot of the big brakes for these cars will not fit 18s, and you have to run 19s. So you'll see the clearance in there is tight. And that was all designed and planned for when we were doing the offset of the wheel and everything with it.
And you're on the 18, you can really maximize your tire.
Exactly, and again, this is a club sport. Ideally, someone could go to the grocery store and then take it to the track. And that's the coolest thing with it. I'll show you guys the interior, which is actually one of my favorite parts. So the interior we stripped out, let me unlock it, and sent it to our friends at Ultimate Auto, and they're a shop here in Orlando as well. They're good friends of ours, and they have an amazing upholstery shop. So the 2 seats that you'll see in the front are these rare M Performance seats. They were produced way back when, 2010, around that time. And then these seats are actually from a guy who had them in a warehouse somewhere in Germany. Don't really know how we traced them back. Yeah, I mean, these are the seats. For anyone that's an enthusiast for the E90, these are the seats you want to get. So, using that as a basis, we took these seats and then basically matched everything else in the rest of the car. So we have the paneling in here is all matched with the white stitching with the same Alcantara that we ordered from BMW. So we matched it exactly to what it is of the seats. The center console matched with the stitching as well. You'll see the headliner, full length headliner, Alcantara. Everything was done with Alcantara. Now the back seats also follow the same ideology of matching the front seats. So we had the guys over at Ultimate Auto re-stitch and reset up the foam for the interior, and then match the bolstering for the back end as well, just like the front seats have, as well as the center console. It is a full, complete OEM that you could put your kid seat back here, whatever you want. That is the goal of this car. And then again, with the functionality, all the AC's working, everything as it would. And then there's some stuff back here, but I'll just show you guys a quick, neat thing that we did. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up too easily. Back here, we laser engraved E91 GTS. Just as a little added touch, thinking that BMW would probably do some sort of labeling, this is how we decided to do it. Yeah, we actually have another one matching in the interior. It's just you'll never be able to see it unless you get really into there. I guess another added touch that some of the BMW guys that might see it, yeah, we had the whole pouch, the whole kit, everything.
It's oil. Huh?
Yep. No, it's not oil. It's the full kit as if BMW were to give it. So it's, I believe, screwdrivers, it's the tow hook, it's everything. I guess it is a thing of oil as well.
This one is. The other one, I think, is the other pieces.
Yeah, and so for BMW enthusiasts who get it, this is actually a super rare option on the E91 to have the net and the cargo cover. And so the E91 that we bought actually had both. And
so these are straight out of that one?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And so all this goes up, and you could put whatever you want back here, take it out. Our goal for this car was to make a car that BMW never made.
Should have made.
Exactly, and we wanted to match it exactly the way BMW would. We matched the rear fender flares. I sort of glossed over that, but just here alone, just to do these fender flares, it basically cut up here, matched this line, and went down. We had to order OEM fender flares from BMW, have our fabricating team cut and weld them back on perfectly so it looks exactly the same as it would from BMW. Ultimately, this took us about 6 months. I think it was May 3rd is when we started.
Last year?
Yeah, last year. I believe it was around May 3rd is when we got both cars, and that first day we had the E90 motor out and the E91 motor was on its way out. So the first day, as soon as they hit, we're we're running. That's a 3D design rear, I believe they call it like a rear valence wing. Basically, this was all carbon. We decided to paint match it and then leave this carbon.
That's such a good touch, just this section.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I forgot. It's fully PPF, ceramic coated with Ceramic Pro. That's really hit everything that I could think of. We have the Alcantara wheel. DCT is just a E90 DCT with a GTS tune. Full iDrive works because it was a double hump, so we kept it a double hump. Every part on the car that broke coming off, we ordered new or we found refurbished. Had to order a lot from Germany, so there was a lot of wait times. But ultimately, the final week before SEMA, it was our entire team here basically watching the sunrise. It was like 24-hour days because we didn't want to just push this into SEMA like a lot of the cars. This car drove out of SEMA and then instantly went to LA, drove all up and down LA, got sent to Pennsylvania, and it's been driven since. So it's not just a parking lot queen. Yeah, you'll see there's already some rock chips in the front end. There's a scrape on the lip, but ultimately we want the car to be driven. We want people to be able to see it, enjoy it for what it is. We're really excited to show the Orlando car scene. I have a lot of customers that have come in here, a lot of friends personally that have been waiting to see this build. So the fact that it's finally back to us is it's really cool. The coolest thing is, so the actual E91 chassis, this one that we bought was found about 1.5 miles from where I grew up in Long Island. When this got brought to us, we're worried about rust, we're worried about all this. So I'm calling all my buddies in New York, hey, can you go check this car out? Can you go check it out? One of my BMW friends is like, I'll absolutely go. So he goes, checks it out, and it was the perfect donor car. We found a few bits of rust, but it was all on parts that we were replacing or gonna switch out. Yeah, and so all that was perfect, and it got to us, and this is how it goes. I know the dealership that sold it to us, they've kept track of everything, and they watch all the videos and they comment. So it's cool to let them also go through it as well, because them even having the car that allowed us to get to where we are today.
How much did you guys pay for both donors?
I think we got a really good deal on the E90. I'm probably gonna say 50 together, because you have to have both. An important part about having both cars, especially to a build of this nature, is you never know what you're gonna need. For the
example from both sides.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, we have an E91 that's currently inside the shop right now, which is my current roommate. And I had him bring the car when we were putting this one together, so we matched things that we didn't know from the E90 with his car. So we're like, oh, this paneling goes here, this wire gets ran out here.
So he came in clutch then?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone came together. We had people stopping by, just keeping tabs on this. We kept it under wraps for like the first 4 months. No one knew about it. And then we decided we'll slowly start leaking stuff. Pit and Paddock started doing their blog series. So for anyone that wants to know more, Pit and Paddock has a bunch of written stuff on their blogs, as well as their Pit and Paddock YouTube channel. And then for the long form stuff, for the enthusiasts that really want to learn and see what went into every single part of this car, I am currently editing, I think, episode 9 of the series of this, where we take you through the long form of the engine, the suspension, the full paint, the wiring, the fabrication. Everything was documented, and we're slowly going to release it all. So all the questions will be answered within that series. So
perfect.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, nailed it. I don't know how you talk so well on camera.